Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Not that it is, looking out there, it's
Misty spitty
it's
day.
rained all night and it's right misty and wet and damp. But we're nice and warm in here,
Yeah.
and the boiler's working fine, no
Again.
screaming. Yeah.
You have to excuse Trevor, he's a bit locked this morning, aren't you, love?
I don't know about that. I just blew my nose.
Well, you do sound blocked up.
Do I?
Yeah, sort of.
She said I was snoring last night. I did wake up and I couldn't breathe up my nose at all. Yeah. A subscriber yesterday asked us what our favourite site was. People do keep asking us that. And I said, not this one. I don't know, Pat. Can you think of a favourite site?
Not really. We do like that one at Pickering.
Yeah.
Don't know. Why would
I
you
told a
class
subscriber
some-
about the one at Pickering.
Why would you...
M, I think.
Uh,
Camper.
yeah, camper going
Pulling
down
a
the
car.
road. Why would you have a favourite site? Well, I choose the Pickering one because it's got a few... I mean, I know it's grass, which is not good for campers in winter time. Well, I don't think she opens in winter, does she?
No.
But it's recent. They've got a garage which has a shop in it at the end of this little village. It's got a pub. If it's open, it wasn't open when we went because of COVID. It's got a little tea room, and there's a bus right outside which takes you to various
So
places.
you can walk into Pickering.
You can walk into Pickering. I think that's why I like it, because it's got a few amenities that are good, don't you?
Yeah. That's your
yeah,
your
that's my
favourite. I
favourite,
can't say
think.
I have a favourite. I can't.
No.
Nothing.
And I'll tell you which one is my favourite, and it doesn't have anything really. A little walk into a village where there is a pub, and that's the
Richmond
monument.
Oh.
Because he's lovely. He's a lovely chap, and he keeps his site immaculate.
Look, the old armouries.
The old armouries.
The old armouries near Barnard Castle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a lovely site. But there's no, I mean, you can drive,
There
but
is a
you
village.
couldn't walk to Barnard Castle from
No,
there,
but
I
you
don't
can
think.
walk to the
to the village.
Can't remember the name of the little village nearby,
No.
but you can walk there and there is a pub there. I don't know whether I'd recommend the food there, like. Anyway. Okay, that's...
Yeah, those two, yeah.
Those two for you.
Yeah.
Somebody asked me what my favourite drawing was. Neil asked me that. I'm going to put it up here now. It's a pastel drawing. And it got ruined. Yeah, the original is ruined, but it's in my shop. And it's lovely. There's the print. You can get it. I'll put the link to my shop down below, Neil. And you can get it in all sorts of... You can get it printed onto lovely watercolour paper, or you can get it printed onto canvas or whatever. Yeah, that's my favourite drawing. It's of Winterton on Sea in Norfolk.
Which last time we went to Winterton on Sea, they wouldn't let us in the car park.
Yes, we fell out with them.
our camper.
They won't let us in.
Which
So
is quite annoying, really, because we
Winterton
wanted a walk, didn't we? And there's a fish and chip shop there.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, which we couldn't have.
Because we couldn't
Because we
find
couldn't
anywhere
find
to stop.
anywhere to stop.
Because they've stopped your camper vans parking in the main car park every
Yeah,
bit at
yeah.
the dunes.
Yeah,
So we just came away.
we did, in disgust. Never to return.
We'll have to find somewhere else to park.
Thank you, Diane B, for subscribing to my Patreon page. Thanks for your support.
Thank you.
I
Anything
was talking, we were at coffee club yesterday afternoon with Graham and Wendy, and I was telling them about how I learned to play the piano, and they said, we've seen all your videos and I don't remember you telling us that. And I swear I made a video of it, but I'm wondering, I was thinking last night, did I do it when I were on Facebook, not on YouTube?
You could have done.
So I'm going to tell that story now, instead of the letters, I think, today. Bit of a change. Are you happy with that?
Oh yeah, whatever you want to do, darling.
I'm saying hogging the thing.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, when I was running the piano shop and learning how to tune pianos while I was running the shop, I used to busk on the pianos. Didn't know what I was doing. And a chap came into the shop one day and he says, you want to learn to play that? And I said, well, who'd teach me? And he says, I would. And it was an elderly gentleman, well retired. I think he was in his 80s. Mr. I better not mention his name, had I?
Go on then. Yeah.
Phil. What it?
Phil.
And he said he'd teach me. And so I arranged, well, I said to him, I want to play Claire de Lune in a year by Debussy. Claire de Lune by Debussy in a year. He looked at me a bit. So
Who do you think you are?
Yeah, probably, yeah. No hope.
You might be on book 4, 5.
Yeah. Well, I used to go on a Thursday, and we started off, of course, on book 1, and I brought it home and practicing these tunes in book 1, and they were ever so thin. These tunes, they were nothing, and I started adding an octave with my left hand to try and thicken out the sound a bit. And he spotted that straight away, did Phil, that I were doing that. And he said, oh, all right, well, let's jump. And we jumped books to I don't know what number book. And there wasn't much thicker, weren't these. But while he used to sit in a chair at side at piano and say, right, play what you've learned. Before he sat outside of me on stool, he used to sit in this chair and I'd play what I'd learned. And one day he said, stop. And I stopped and he says, tell me where you are on the music. And of course I couldn't tell him because I was playing it all from memory. And I'd just memorised it all. And he couldn't get me to sight read. So he said, well, you seem to be able to remember the black notes just as easy as the white notes. Which yeah. I thought, well, what's complicated about that? So...
Apparently very complicated.
Well, music is more difficult when there's lots of black notes in it, apparently. When there's if you're playing in a key and there's 4 flats or 4 sharps or whatever in it, it's a more difficult piece of music to play, apparently. But I just memorised the black notes just as easy as the white ones. So we did away with the books, and he just got this sheet of music out by George Gershwin in about four flats or something of Autumn Leaves. And well, when I played it, the hair on the back of my head stood up. I just loved the chord sounds that I was playing. It was fantastic. And of course I memorised it, and I went back and played it for him, and next thing we went on to these Chopin waltzes, and I memorised them and played them as well. And he said to me, "But you've changed it, it's not as it's written." And I said, "Yeah, well, they're sad." I said to him, "The chords sound sad, so I couldn't play it like a waltz. It was too sad." So I slowed it down, you know. And apparently Phil, who knew all about Chopin, said that apparently at that time he wrote them waltzes, he'd split up from his girlfriend or something. I
So
don't
it was sad.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
But anyway, I slowed them down. I changed the tempo altogether, because to me they were lovely sounding sad chords, and I liked them. But no way would I have played them as a waltz. And yes, inevitably I could play Claire de Lune from memory. Although when I heard it on the radio,
It didn't sound
I
quite
thought,
like it.
that ain't Claire de Lune. But it wasn't how I played it anyway. But I change everything.
Yeah. People recognise things when
Oh
you
yeah,
played them, didn't
yeah,
they?
yeah. But they are
You're
slightly different. And I was more concerned about what I was hearing when I was playing the piano. I couldn't sight read all these dots and listen to what I was doing at the same time. I needed to focus on what I was hearing, what was coming out of the piano when I was playing it.
Yeah.
And that's why I played from memory, so I could focus on the sound
When it was played.
And yeah, and by the time the two things ran in parallel, learning to tune a piano and learning to play a piano, they went in parallel. So by the time I went out tuning, I could play, and I used to carry a dozen songs around in my head and play for people when I'd finished tuning, and people used to enjoy that. They used to like that. Me playing the piano after I'd done it.
Yeah. People hung about in house waiting for you to tune it,
yeah,
didn't
they did, yeah.
So they could come in and listen.
Yeah, yeah. So that's totally out of the box, off the wall, whatever the expression is, the way I learned to tune, and certainly play, and certainly the way I learned to tune was off the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you didn't go to college, did
no.
you? And you were in your 30s when you learnt that.
Yeah, I was.
Things,
I was. Yeah, but I think my brain was probably at its zenith. Goes up and then it comes back down. As the flower grows and blooms and fades away, so is my brain. Well, that's my little story for today. Yeah. And what are we going to do today? I know what we're doing today.
Pub crawl.
Pub crawl. Pub crawl.
We only go to one pub.
Life on the Run's version of a pub crawl.
It's a crawl from the site to the pub.
It's crawl as in slow.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
We thought we'd walk, but I don't know, it's looking a bit dodgy.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
We're not.
Yeah.
We're fair weather friends. I'm not a webbed foot
Oh.
person. Going out in rain.
Having said that, you like swimming.
Oh yes, I did like swimming. Yeah, I haven't been for years.
No.
Gets harder to go, doesn't it?
And I got some bad news yesterday. My son-in-law's van got broken into again. Yeah. And this time they got the door open and they took the lot.
Took everything.
Took everything. All his tools. He couldn't go to work yesterday. They'd taken all of his tools.
Well, apart from it being upsetting, because there'd been quite a lot of money in that van. They even took the big box that he carried in there. I mean, how they got that out at van, because it takes him ages to unempty that van, doesn't it, every night?
Yeah, it's just after you've been working all day, you have to come home and lug that damn great box out and pull it into hallway at house and leave it there. Because you've got to put it back in following morning. And if you can't get parked near the house, which you often can't.
Which you couldn't this particular night.
It's just impossible.
Yeah, it were down there, hairdressers, wasn't it?
Yeah.
At End at Road.
Poor lad, I rang him up and commiserated with him. And, hey dear.
I think they've got him marked.
He's a marked man.
Because they've done that. They've peeled the door down.
Second time in 2 months.
Don't they?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, first time they only got away with his...
hammer gas, that...
Yeah, that
gun.
Nail gun.
Nail gun. It was a brand 2-week-old nail gun. He's only just got his money back from the insurance company for that, which they stole, and now they've taken the lot.
I mean, and it's not... I know people say, well, you're insured, you get it back, but then they put insurance up, don't they? Yeah. And he has to have a new door on his van.
Yeah.
And
then they're only going to do it again.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no crime prevention now, is there?
Swapped all his tools out for electric
battery.
To battery, because it's the way that things are going. And they're taking all his batteries and everything, haven't they?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, it's just more money he has to fork out all the time, isn't it? Poor lad.
Yeah.
So like, getting out of these people.
Yeah, no. Not vaporising.
They don't know what trouble they cause and anguish. Well, I don't think they care.
Well, they do, but they just don't care. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
That's us moan, sorry.
Ending the video on a sad note there.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
we don't usually do that, do we? No.
Have you got anything you can add
anything to cheer everybody up? Not really, I don't think. Can't think of anything. Apart from, we're still...
How beautiful you are!
We're still here, aren't we?
We're still here.
Yeah. We're going to have a nice day, because this will be his last...
This is our last day. So tomorrow you won't get one of these videos. We'll be packing up and setting off for our next site. You want to know where we're going? No, I'm going to tell you when we get there. Right, so we are stopping off at a site tomorrow on our way back. All right.
Yeah.
So, see you tomorrow in a new location. Bye.
Bye.